You are welcome back. So I said we are going to make this clear button to work. How do we do that? I want to clear all the items in each of the text boxes when I click clear button. Okay, let's go back to where the clear button is. This is the clear button. You see the essence of naming this thing correctly? Clear BTN. So I know it's clear button, clear BTN. Just the same way I added command dot add item, just copy and we'll do the same thing. Comma, add, but this time around I will say clear item, not add item now. So it's going to take a parameter called command and you are going to assign a function to it. We have not created this function, we are going to create it. So we want to make our clear button to work. So I'll come up here. I'll start another function, clear underscore item. Then what will I do? I will just say item underscore txt. That is the text box. Item underscore, that is the first text box where we enter the name of the item that we are adding to our expenditure. So I will say item dot underscore txt dot, we go call a function called delete. Where am I deleting from the first character, which is 0, then to the end. I'll put end. Okay, let's test this before we go further. So I just type the name of the widget, then call this function. It takes two parameters, the beginning of deleting. You can delete static character, you can say 0 to 5, but I want it to delete to the end, so I'm going to use a string parameter there, delete it to the end. So let's go back. No, we are going to run our own. So if I say bins and I click clear, you see it cleared it, but I've not done that of quantity and cost per unit. So the same way I'll go to the text box for the quantity, that is a qty underscore txt, and the cost is also cost underscore txt. So I will come to that function, I will say qty underscore txt dot delete, then from 0 to end, then I will say cost underscore txt dot delete from 0 to end. So that's it. It is done. So we created a function called clear item. See the way you start with dev, you tab inside the content of your function must be tabbed by 4 spaces or by tab key. So I hope you understand that. So that is that function clear item. So let's test it, see whether it works. Okay, then I will have a car. Maybe I buy a car of a 5, I don't know, oh, 2 cars, and the cost per unit is 5, maybe 5 million. Our item, you see, there's a problem here because these figures are big. It's upsetting. Well, it's not what we can correct for now. Definitely, I mean, actually, if I want to display table like there is a widget, we call it tree view. It's beyond the scope of this introduction. So don't let us buy car for now. Let's buy the food item for now. Let's buy yam. So buy yam, buy 10 tubers, and it costs maybe 4,000. Add item. So you may take this application further. There may be delete button here or edit button to edit items. There are a lot of things you can do to this app to make it better. All right, let's close that. I think what we are left with is this analyze button to analyze all our expenses. So what will I do? I'll come to analyze button. This is the button here. Okay, I want this thing to be 20. Okay, I'll come here and put command equals to, I will create a function called analyze. Analyze. Just analyze, that's all. So I want to call this function by a function called analyze. So I'll go on top. I'm going to create the function. So you're already familiar with this, def analyze. So don't forget parentheses. I'm going to put colon. Okay. What will I do with this analyze function? Let me put pass so that I don't like seeing this red something, this red error. So I put pass to hold something for me there at least to avoid the error. Now what will I do with analyze? I want to take all the data entered by this by the use of this app and plot a graph. So the analysis we are going to do is going to be simple. It's not advanced statistical analysis, just to plot a graph. Maybe I should have called it visualize, not even analyze. But let's take it that we place. So we're going to plot a bar chart of our expenditure. How will I do this? So I'm going to the top and import two libraries, Pandas, and also import Matplotlib. Okay, why am I typing nonsense? .py plot as plt. Okay, that's not the actual way to do that. Matplotlib, we say from matplotlib .py plot. You should know what I'm doing now. If you took the lesson on data science, so from Matplotlib, import pyplot as plt. So that is how it works with Matplotlib. The Pandas is to create data frame for our data. Matplotlib is to plot graph for our data. Okay, so if this has string to you, please watch my video on introduction to data science. So what do we do now? We come here under analyze. Before then, we are going to create a variable outside. We are going to call it items, and it's going to be a list. We need a list. Every item we had, one by one, as we are adding the item, as we are adding them, we want to be storing them in a list. And we are going to add each item as a dictionary. So how am I going to do this? When I add this item, I'm going to create, before this, I'm going to create item, let me call it item list. Okay, this should have been item list. Item list. It's an empty list that this is how to create empty list in Python. Then here will now be single item list. What is it not too long? Single underscore item list is equal to. So I'm going to create a dictionary. The first item there will be item. It's going, and this is the key. The value will be item. This item from our text box that we create, this variable item, the same thing we print here. So then comma. Another key I want to create here is a quantity. and the value will be QTY, comma. The next one will be cost, and the value will be cost. The next one will be total, and the value will be total. The total we got from this calculation. So then after that, I'm going to say I will now, I'm creating this outside a function so that I can access it in any of these functions. This is procedural programming anyway. Where it's a procedural programming. So I created this variable outside, but any of these functions can access it. So I can now refer to this item list. This item list that I created here, I will refer to it here. I will say item underscore list dot append. So that is the function, the list function called append. What am I appending? Single item list. For now, how will I know it is done? Let's come to analyze and print. Let's print item underscore list. Don't forget I can access that item list. It's outside all of them. I can access it here. I can also access it under analyze. So what have I just done? I created a dictionary from the item, from the input of my users. So I created a dictionary because I've captured the input under these three variables. I also created another variable called total by combining quantity and cost. Then I created a label to print it out. I also created a single, did I say single item list? No, single item. That should be single item, not list. We have created list. So a single item now is this. So it's a dictionary. I generally use this because these are going to form they are going to form the element of our bar charts. So that is why I put it that way. Item is the key. So this is how we create dictionary. Key and value. This is the key item. The value is the item that we get from the text box. Quantity from the text box, and so on. Then we append this single item to our item list. Then I want to print it here when I click analyze button. Okay, let's run it. Okay, let's say orange 650 add item is added. Okay, let me clear, add another one. Mango, I have 50 this time around, then 50 add item. Let's add another one. Apple. Okay, I have several already. I like apple. Then maybe the price is 150 add item. All right, so I have that. If I click analyze, let's minimize. When I click analyze, I have this list of dictionary. It's a list because it starts with this square bracket, end with square bracket. It's a list of dictionary because I have a dictionary here, separated by comma, another dictionary here, then another dictionary, making 3 dictionary of orange, mango, and apple. So that is it. But that is not what I want to do. I want to access. I want to plot a bar chart out of the dictionary. So I'm going to convert this. List of dictionary to data frame by calling this pandas. Let me import pandas as PD so that I don't type panda or pandas. Pandas up and down. Okay, import pandas as PD. So I'm going to call PD, that PD here. I will say PD dot, it has a class called data frame. And if you remember other data science, you can pass a dictionary here. So I will just pass my item underscore list. I will pass it there. So instead of printing this, let me bring it down. But I'm going to create a variable. I will store this under a variable called df, data frame. So you create a variable, you call pandas, then you create a data frame out of your list. So let's create, not list now, let's create df. Is df want to create. So want to print rather, sorry. Let's call that function. I'll close this. I will come back and call the function. Start the program. Okay. Orange again. 45 to orange, add item. Let's expand it, clear it, then apple, quantity 30 to orange, add item. Let's analyze. I click analyze. What will happen? Oh, wonderful. I have a table. That is data frame of pandas. If you remember, this is how pandas represent your data. When you create a data frame by calling PD, PD is same thing as my pandas because I say as PD. By calling pandas dot data frame class, then you pass in your parameter. Either you type the dictionary or you pass a list of dictionary as a parameter. Then printing the data frame, I have this. So that is that. But that is not what I want to do. I want to plot a graph. So how will I do that?